if you look at it completely at a macro level, if you look at global trade, we are 2 to 3% of global trade, which is obviously very low compared to the fact. Two reasons. One is India has huge population base, a large informed population base. We have many engineering institutes, etc. We have very highly skilled manpower, etc. In spite of that, our global trade is very, very low. The second advantage which we have, other than the highly qualified manpower, is that India is located in the Indian Ocean in an area where global trade is natural. From the Indian Ocean, from our ports, you could access almost any part of the world in the simplest possible way. I can't think of any other country which has this level of geographical advantage which India has. And the other important part to understand is that manufacturing has many facets. For example, I'll tell you about a facet which we may not discuss right here, but there is a thing called global capability centers. There are some 8,000 in India. What does that mean? For example, let's say Microsoft. The biggest office outside Reddington in the US is in Hyderabad. So similarly, IBM's second biggest office is in Bangalore, etc., etc. So the second headquarter of very, very large companies happen to be India. And they may not be doing like manufacturing hard goods or merchandise, but they're certainly exporting very high quality services. And there are 8,000 such global capability centers in India. So India is a force to reckon with in the global trading system. Albeit that this example is not so relevant to merchandise exports. Now, coming to another very important facet, we always say that China has become the manufacturing country of the world. Why? Because they are able to produce goods at very low cost, and they are producing goods of far better quality. So there are two parameters which they are working on: higher quality and lower cost. And the reason for that is very simple, because China has looked at the whole world as one and said that the world is my whole market. And therefore they get volumes which are so high in their factories that their cost of production per unit is low. And because their volumes are high, their revenues are high, they're able to invest money in research and development for making products at a lower cost, a better product at a lower cost. So these are the things which we have to understand. Whereas in India, what we do is our manufacturing, most of our manufacturing, not all, is related really to the domestic market, because we have a large consumption base itself, because we are a large country, large population. And even if you look at people who have the purchasing power and who can buy serious goods and services, it exceeds 100 million, which is about half the size of Europe. So we have a large buying population, we have purchasing power, everything. So a lot of manufacturers focus only on the Indian market. But by doing so, you are getting a lower volume versus, say, China, and you are just catering to the local demand. Therefore, you're not exposed so much to the export market parameters.
So if you ask me about the progress, yes, in last 1 decade, more than 10 years, we have made significant progress towards making in India. But still, we are in the middle of this phase. So if I properly separate this project into two parts, the first was to stop the finished goods import in India, which thanks to the government policies and the consumer behavior in India, we have successfully managed to put a stop to import of finished goods in consumer electronics and most of the IT products. Second would be, yes, now we are capable of producing in India for our domestic consumption. The next step is to take the Indian manufacturing to the global platform. Now here is a challenge that I see from our business perspective, because we have to compete with countries like China and other Far East countries. They are much more advanced. They have been into this since the beginning. As it was just said, that for China, the global market is their domestic market. So they started their business not only focusing on domestic China consumption, but they also had in mind the international business. This gives an immense power of buying volumes, producing in volumes, and thus it reflects in the quality of product, investment that is done in the R&D and the pricing as well. So in India, in spite of several challenges, we have successfully been able to produce most of the goods locally in India. Now it is time for manufacturers to get into the international market as well. So we at Elista started our brand in 2020 in India, and since the beginning we had a slogan which is called "Making in India for the World." So we added "for the world" word because we wanted to take an exposure into the international market as well. Now many brands in India are a little bit hesitant into getting to the international market because of their limitations, but then we because of our very widespread channel in Middle East, Central Asia and African countries, we were able to do this. So our manufacturing unit, which is in Andhra, today supplies to Middle East and Central Asian countries. So progress has definitely been made. Now it is time for us to capitalize on this and see that we can get into the international market as quickly as possible, because India has got multiple advantages today. One of the biggest, which I would say today, is the location, which is so strategic for any IT and consumer electronics business, and we must utilize that. So the supply chain, the cost of supply chain, all this can be reduced if we start exporting to the rest of the world from India. So I still believe that Make in India project is very much successful so far. But to conclude, I would say that we are still in the middle of this process. The part 2, which is Making in India for the World, has to be exercised and has to be exercised very, very quickly and get into the international business.
The situation is we have to understand where we are. First of all, we want to understand where we were and now where we are, and now what is the future for all of us. So there is a 3 scenario. If we talk about our last 1 decade or 2 decades, we have really progressed well, and now that Make in India is something that before is unrealistic or unbelievable for all of us, but now the things has been realistic for all of us, and we understand that India can do something, something good. And when the COVID time came, and there is a one China one policy, and India was very promising at that time to become a China one policy. See, we have to understand we were very promising, and we are almost about to become a number 1. China plus 1 policy, we are almost achieving that level. But what did happen? We are not exactly becoming it. We can be become, but we didn't get that level because of there is some realistic challenges which we are facing. Like we have to understand, first of all, raw material. We have a dependency of the raw material to the China, and that is but obvious for all of us. And for these raw material, we have to pay import duty. And now I'm giving you some mathematical data. We have to understand. So importer like us, those who are importing the raw material from the China and the Japan or South Korea, and we have to pay import duty. And after the complete the goods, we have to pay GST. And after the sale the goods, we have to pay corporate tax. And whatever the salary and whatever the we take out the money from the company, we have to pay income tax. And the rest of the money what we have, whatever we buy, we have to pay indirect taxes. So indirect GST, or what do you call it, the indirect GST. So if you calculate, the tax is around 60 to 65%. First of all, we have to understand, and in the rest of 35%, a lot of compliances are there. We have to survival of the company, the compliances are there. We have to survive within the a time period, within the limited capital.
We are in this trade for 30 plus years, which is almost 3 decades, and we have seen a very major transformation on the manufacturing industry. Starting from a time when India was only a product importer, to a time when we started importing products in parts as SKD, and now we are in a situation that we are importing the products as components and we are doing the integration in the country also. The next step which I feel will be the assembly and the sub-assemblies to be manufactured in the country, which will create a very, very big difference. Second is the exports. The exports in the country, which we are seeing the data every day coming in the newspapers, that the exports of mobile phone IT products is increasing and increasing, and we are getting very good leverage out of it. And now it has reached a level where it can expand, and our factories also are going to expand very much. So the difference, the government's mindset and the focus is towards the manufacturing of the product in the country, so that we can bring it to the next level for exporting to the other countries also. And third thing which I think, electronics is something, we are in electronics. Everything we do today is rotating around electronics. Like for example, computer has changed its shape and become a mobile phone, or now even electronics is in the car, which was a very big industry. So looking at almost all the things, the electronics is rotating around everything. And the other product which also is getting into is the AI. Because of AI, we are getting lot of benefits in the manufacturing industry. So that's where the government and the transformation is happening towards our mindset, and what all we can do around this is what we can capture as an opportunity.
Immense opportunity for the manufacturing. You asked about the states. What are the states giving the maximum benefits to the electronic and the mobile phone industry, including the mobile accessories industries? So there are 5-6 states which promotes these industries very well, which include Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Chhattisgarh, UP is of course already there, and the next now Odisha. Odisha is giving the maximum benefit to the entrepreneurs. They are working on pari passu basis, and they are ready to give you the 50-50 to establish the unit. See, when the entrepreneur, especially in the mobile industry or electronic industry, what are the factors we consider to be in the state? So, manpower, land, infrastructure, social infrastructure, bureaucracy, political will, and political stability. And I'll say the last will be the attractive packages. So, if I see these particular states including Andhra, Telangana, Odisha, Chhattisgarh, and partly now Karnataka also started the same way. These are the right states for the manufacturing. They are giving the good incentives, and they are promoting the electronic industry, and some of them have a TAT to approve the project within 3 weeks. So I think these are the very good state to work on. पहले वो time होता कि I'm staying in Delhi, I can put the factory in Noida or maybe in Kundli XYZ. Now the time has changed. I've been the part of Lava, GV Mobile, and so on. So many companies. I'm still the part of the OEM company. And as he rightly said, the foreign brands. After China, now the people from US or even from the Europe, they're looking for the Indian OEMs. So directly this manufacturing units are getting promoted by the brands.
That in the first week of May in Delhi, Kate will be having the biggest Swadeshi Mela at Pragati Maidan. So we are going to request Swapan Dada and Dada on the stage that we should encourage everybody. All verticals are welcome, but we are talking of mobility and IT and electronics here. So, I mean, there would be who's who from the government space, from all states, center, everybody. They will try to encourage all Swadeshi products. There will be no Chinese products or imported products displayed there. And basically, we can, all the details we will be sharing with Swapanji to how to participate and how to gain mileage out of this biggest ever Swadeshi Mela which India has ever held. It is being handholded by Piyush Goyal ji, who is also sort of the ITPO is under him, and he has assured Kate of the maximum support he can give, and it will be well kind of communicated across the world so that you are getting international buyers, all consulates, everybody, they are going to be informed. So this will be a very good opportunity for everyone, whoever wants to make in India. So that is one of the initiatives what again government is offering through, maybe, you know, Kate happens to be one of the biggest trade bodies for MSMEs, and I think we should all take advantage out of that. And lastly, I would say from government is a very big buyer, and government has created this portal GEM, and I think most of us are selling on GEM. There are products in mobility which maybe don't sell that much on GEM, but in IT space, a lot of products sell there. And government is taking inputs and improving GEM day by day. And our associations do help in, whatever the issues are involved. So, I mean, in that way, GST has come down from government side to improve the business.